pregame on Mariners TV is presented by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. J.P. Crawford, you see him there at the hot corner for the first time as a Mariner. He made a couple of nice plays. That was a nice scoop, and that's an easy throw when you're past the pitcher's mound. Look at that nice hop, short hop there, got it. Also fielded a pop fly. Not a whole lot of action for JP there. Again, playing the first time, third base. He's back there. Again, third base for the Mariners. Did play 26 games as a Philly. Our EQC pitching matchup tonight, game 2 of the set. Couple of righties, Kyle Bradish and George Kirby on the mound, both making their 15th start of the season. For Kirby, looking to get a little revenge against the Orioles, who beat him last time. And I'd love to be able to talk pitching on my own, but they don't trust me, so we have to bring in RRS once again, my friend, my favorite Socceroo fan.
Yes.
Right, let's talk some Kirby. You know, I mentioned he lost 4 straight turns, but it seems like he pitches well, and it's just maybe that one inning that trips him up. So your local Ford dealer, key to the game. How does he avoid the big inning tonight?
Yeah, and you said it too. Look, going back a couple starts against the Mets, he couldn't get through the 4th because of that big inning. He was trying to grind through it, couldn't get through it. And then this time, man, he was looking really good through 5, but then in the 6th, you mentioned at the big inning, Alonso hit the home run. He tried to beat him with the same pitch 3 times in a row. It didn't work, and I think it's a mental thing. We talked about this with Munoz. I think with George Kirby, he's just kind of in a situation where he is trying to get over that hump where he doesn't want the game to speed up, get out of hand. But the fastball command is going to be massive. It worked for Logan Gilbert last night. That 2-seamer in to some of these lefties is going to be massive, and away to some of the righties. He can get that pitch down, get that breaking ball below the strike zone. He's going to be okay. But you know what? Just take a breath, take a beat. Give up a hit, give up a double or a home run. Take that breath and slow everything down like he was in that first part of the season, Brad.
Yeah, and he pitched well, as you mentioned, against Orioles. 10 punch-outs in that loss. Ryan, we appreciate it. Thank you, buddy.
Thanks, buddy.
All right, hey, really cool story. Talking starting pitching. Brian Wu goes tomorrow. He got a special cleats, 3 pairs designed by patients at Seattle Children's Hospital. 11-year-old Charlotte, 12-year-old Connor presented the pitcher with 3 specially designed cleats. They were made by 24 patients at Seattle Children's Hospital. Each kid did a portion of the cleats during their art therapy session over the past few months. Some of the designs include a cityscape, tridents, and glitter. Brian became very emotional as he thanked the kids for their gift. Wu, again, plans to wear all 3 cleats during the game, including tomorrow when he takes the mound. Such a cool story there. Gosh, that's awesome. And a nice RBI single last night from Julio Rodriguez gets the Mariners on the board, looking to get it done tonight again. Win another series.
The tarp has not been put on yet, but the tarps have been taken off.
How in the world do you do something like that? What a special player.
We're never going to be invited back here.
Career home run number 300.
Now those are some locks I'm jealous of.
Oh, he hammered it to dead center.
They work great for cornhole too.
The bat goes sailing into the seats.
How about we give you a brand new Vladimir Guerrero Jr. bat that's autographed?
That's 10. Beautiful 7 innings.
To lead Major League Baseball.
Together, we get there.
Mariners pregame is brought to you by Emerald Queen Casino. Multi-platinum comedian and singer Rodney Carrington brings his legendary live show to Emerald Queen Casino June 25th. Tickets at emeraldqueen.com. And by your local Ford dealer, home of the F-150, America's best-selling truck for 49 years. And by LiUNA, the hard-working men and women of the Laborers Union, 48,000 strong. Beautiful night, trying to win another game, win another series. And the Mariners do it with a new player, Connor Jobe, recalled from Tacoma. You see him there in 18 games with the Mariners. Curtis Washington Jr. optioned back down to Everett last night. What a thrill for him, putting on a major league uniform for the very first time. Joe active and playing left field tonight. Speaking of the field, on the field, the Mariners are celebrating all of the WIAA state champions in baseball and softball. Really cool moment here. Over 200 kids on the field. I tell you what, if I had a kazoo, I'd be playing it right now, cheering for these guys and gals. Congratulations to all of the baseball and softball state champions in Washington this year. As George Kirby warming up, they get to watch a big leaguer warm up. Look how close they get together. That is cool. Great to see. Congrats again to all of those champions here at T-Mobile Park. All right, Kirby warming up, which means we're getting close, of course, to first pitch. Mariners trying for 2 in a row. Brad Adam at the Ford Sports Desk here. Well, we all got to welcome Cal Raleigh back. Dan Wilson, very happy to have Cal back as well. He said he even cracked a smile yesterday. We asked Dan what it was like to, get this guy and put him in the lineup.
And really enjoying the game and enjoying playing and getting back in the lineup. Just brings. I think it brought a lift to everybody. And what he did with Logan last night was pretty special. The game plan and rolling out a really strong, solid game plan. And so, just all around, just a great ball game for Cal and a great way, to cap that off by getting the big hit to give us the runs there to make the difference. So great ball game. Great to see him back in there and JP as well.
How big a difference does Cal make behind the plate?
Well, I mean, he especially, with all our guys he's worked with for so long now, getting him back there is definitely some familiarity, and it feels good on both sides, whether it's the pitcher or the catcher. And so having Cal behind the plate, blocking balls like he does and calling the game like he does, I think they feel very comfortable. So great to see him back in there, and he knows these guys, he knows what buttons to press, and he's done a great job.
He certainly has. Our Mariners.TV schedule all games on Mariners TV unless otherwise noted. Tomorrow, day game. Woo on the mound in those special cleats. That's at 12:30. Again, the 19th. What a day in Seattle sports history. It is, of course, Juneteenth to begin with. Then you've got USA, Australia soccer at noon. Victory Hall across the street. Those doors open at 7 a.m. for the viewing party. Then you got that game. You got Mariners. You got fireworks night that night. That is going to be an unbelievable night. And then on the road back to East Coast with Pittsburgh and Cleveland. Cole Young just kind of taking it all in, just getting loose, getting ready for this one. He's up one more spot. He's hitting 5th tonight, playing 2nd, of course. Stretching as the guys look for eyeing another win against these O's. We've got first pitch on the way after the break.
Major League Baseball welcomes you to the following presentation of the Seattle Mariners.
What a simply gorgeous early evening. The Mariners and the Baltimore Orioles. The Mariners a chance to win a game, win a series. It's game 2 of 3, the M's and the O's. A series that began last night. Our Chevy Silverado drive of the game. We take you back to last night, Angie. The Orioles an early lead, but Julio tied it up.
This was incredible. 2-seamer running in on his hands. It was off the plate. I don't know how he kept it fair. He drops it into left field, and it's a tie game until Cal Raleigh late in the game unties it.
Yeah, a little bit of a welcome back party for a couple of Mariners, and none bigger than Cal Raleigh. He made his presence felt immediately returning.
Well, tell me what you do when it counts. This one in the 7th inning. A great jump, by the way, from Colt Emerson to score there as well. So he brings in 2, and that ends up standing up because of the bullpen.
It's great to have you with us here tonight for Mariners baseball inside T-Mobile Park. Aaron Goldsmith alongside Angie Mentink. And Angie, it was great for the Mariners to get back home. It was great for the Mariners to get a Game 1 win. It was great to see Cal Raleigh back in a Mariners uniform.
And he really had his fingerprints all over this game. We just showed the game-winning hit. He caught a gem from Logan Gilbert. He helped Bizzardo retire, everything in order because he overturned an ABS challenge. And then I think he really helped Munoz feel comfortable and turn things around from the way things went on the end of that road trip.
Yeah, Munoz fantastic last night, multiple times 101 miles an hour. From the bullpen to the rotation, today's Western Washington Toyota Dealers pitching matchup. Well, the Mariners saw this guy and the Orioles saw that guy. It's Kyle Bradish facing the Mariners for the 2nd straight start. The same can be said about Kirby facing the O's.
All All right, let's talk about George Kirby first. I think that it's really important for him to be efficient tonight against these Orioles. Early contact, so he doesn't have to show them everything that he's got in his bag. All 3 runs last outing versus the O's came in the 6th inning, so it'll be good if he can keep some tricks in his bag, but he was fantastic with the 10 strikeouts.
Yeah, quality start for Kirby last time out facing Baltimore. On the other side, Bradish, a guy who looked like was an ace in the making. Tommy John a long way back. He has returned and still trying to kind of get his feet underneath him in some ways.
I think it's really important that the Mariners make him work, Aaron. He has failed to pitch into the 5th inning in either of his last 2 starts. The Mariners roughed him up last week, a season-high 3 home runs, and he will make mistakes. 2 of those 3 home runs came with 2 strikes.
Good ground ball pitcher, also a lot of walks. Mariners will try to get the ball in the air once again against Bradish here tonight in Game 2. And what a performance it was last night for Andres Munoz. He was electric in the 9th inning. The Mariners winning one last night. Tonight, a chance for a series win against the Orioles. Mariners TV is brought to you by Emerald Queen Casino. Multi-platinum comedian and singer Rodney Carrington brings his legendary live show to Emerald Queen Casino June 25th. Tickets at emeraldqueen.com. By the Washington Traffic Safety Commission. Seatbelts save lives. Remember to always buckle up when you drive. And by PIMCO, the insurance you get. Learn more at PIMCO.com. Spectacular night here in Seattle. Mariners and the Orioles getting set for the middle game of this 3-game series. We take you down to the field of the Ford Sports Desk. The man with those bright lights shining on his face. Hyphen, how you doing, man?
I'm doing fantastic, especially after watching what we saw pitching-wise from Logan Gilbert and then Andres Munoz to finish it off. Goldie, we saw on the road trip, it was a little bit rocky. He blew the save in Detroit. He finished the road trip with some back issues. We were questioning if he was going to be ready to go last night, and he certainly was. We welcomed back Cal Raleigh last night to the team. What about welcoming him back? The dominance of Andres Munoz. The fastball was 101 with some run to it, and that slider was absolutely filthy. I spoke to Andres Munoz after this outing last night. He said, look, I've just been trying to do too much. I've been trying to search for answers, but I just need to simplify things. Sometimes it can be a little tougher when you have that kind of stuff, but you could see last night, all of a sudden, he just took a breath and he had that mound presence to him. Hopefully we see that again tonight as he finishes off this one and win the series tonight.
And it was incredible stuff last night from Andres Munoz. 100, 101 numerous times, so the Mariners closer seems to be right back in the saddle. Mariners and the Orioles here tonight. Game 2 of this 3-game series. A chance for a series win. George Kirby takes the ball for the Mariners.
This starting pitching is really good. I think the thing that stands out is George Kirby.
Strike 3. George Kirby strikes out 14. He has been a walking nightmare.
He just kept mowing him down.
Swinging a bit, swinging out of his shoes. Mariners TV is brought to you by your local Ford dealer, home of the F-150, America's best-selling truck for 49 years. By Virginia Mason Franciscan Health, make a play for your health with the Mariners' trusted sports medicine provider. And by Jack in the Box, get fired up with the Hot Ones Munchie Meal. Now the sound glistening. Mariners beginning a homestand this week. Mariners game 2 of 3. Mariners and the Baltimore Orioles. The roof wide open. That Seattle sunshine high above. Now the Mariners have a chance for a series win with a win tonight behind George Kirby up on the mound in game 2. He's facing an Orioles starting lineup that is top 10 in baseball in runs per game. They can slug a little bit. They can also strike out quite a bit. We'll see how much that factors into things as Kirby struck out 10 the last time he faced this Baltimore squad. A familiar face is at the top, the longtime Angel Taylor Ward, who's been an on-base machine. They're trying to get Gunnar Henderson going, their all-star shortstop, and then of course a man with some Northwest roots, the great Adley Rutschman out of Oregon State, batting in front of Pete Alonso, first-year Oriole. So the top 4 in this lineup is no joke for the O's. They will have to contend tonight with George Kirby coming off a quality start against this team. He's making his 15th start overall this year, Ange.
Yeah, but the last 5 starts have been kind of head scratchers. Winless in the last 5. He's allowed 3 or more runs in those 5 straight starts. It's the longest such streak of his career, and over this stretch, Aaron, he's been throwing the breaking balls more, fastballs less. You look at what the Orioles are up against, 32% four-seamer, the sweeper, the sinker, got the knuckle curve and the change. The increase in breaking balls has been a little bit of an issue. They are hitting it for a higher average, and they are missing them less than they were last season. It'll be interesting to see what happens with Cal Raleigh behind the dish tonight.
Well, the Mariners getting some players back, losing others. Randy Arozarena on the injured list. Connor Joe just recalled. He is in left field today. Luke Raley remains unavailable because of a back issue, so it is Robles in right field here tonight. So the Mariners are not quite yet still at full strength, although, of course, J.P. Crawford back last night off the injured list. Same story for the man behind home plate in Cal Raleigh. Taylor Ward all ready to go. And Kirby's first pitch, he snaps off a breaking ball at the knees for strike one. And we are underway in game two. Mariners had that day off after a lengthy three-city East Coast trip, including 4 games against these Orioles at Camden Yards, a series that they split 2 games each. Always kind of interesting when you have the same opponent for the second time in a very short period of time. In this case, a span of 3 total series. The Mariners are playing the Orioles in 2 of them.
And usually the advantage would go towards the hitters, but it wasn't what we saw last night. Both pitchers last night were absolutely spectacular.
We will have a chance to talk with one of those pitchers. Logan Gilbert will join us on headset from down in the dugout very shortly early on here tonight. Looking forward to that. Kirby ahead, no balls and 2 strikes. High target set from Cal Raleigh. This is lofted into foul ground. Mastroboni, who is over at first base, makes the catch with just enough room to spare, and there is the game's first out. Did we mention the Mariners are playing without Josh Naylor as well tonight?
Well, Miles Mastroboni has outfield in him, and his ability to go back for this baseball is really pretty impressive. Sometimes you'll see an infielder there, no hate. They'll get turned around just a little bit, but Miles Mastroboni looks like he's playing one of the corner outfield positions.
Leadoff man sat down, bases empty for Gunnar Henderson. Now, Henderson's had the pop this year, 14 home runs, as you can see. Former All-Star, one-time Rookie of the Year as well. But it has not been quite the season that they were expecting from Henderson, who has been one of the premier offensive shortstops in the game, really ever since he came onto the scene. And Kirby throws 98 right over the heart of the plate and gets it 0-2.
Taylor Ward, who Kirby was just able to retire, has been really a patient hitter this year. It's usually Gunnar Henderson who we see have a much better strike zone than he's showing this year. Led the team in walks last year and the year before.
Jams him at 99, so the arm feeling good for Kirby. Orioles have lost 3 in a row, and the offense has sputtered slightly during that stretch of time. They've scored a grand total of 6 runs in their last 3 games. Kirby on a 1-2. Ground ball up the middle. There's Cole Emerson behind the bag over to first base.
I love watching the process from George Kirby there. Ground ball right back at him. He says, I'm going to get this. And then he decides, no, I'm not. I'm going to drop that glove of mine, and I'm going to let Cole Emerson behind me handle that. A wise decision. George Kirby, wise decision.
Now, this has been one of the real storylines for Kirby this year. He has become one of the game's premier ground ball pitchers, 5th in the majors among all starting pitchers in ground ball rate. Gets one early here. In fact, the Orioles starter Kyle Bradish is not too far below Kirby on that list. So 2 guys who have kept the ball on the ground quite a bit this season going head to head tonight.
A big reason why for George Kirby is that sweeper, and that's what we just saw Gunnar Henderson ground out on. It doesn't have just that horizontal movement, but right there at the end, it's got that late downward tilt.
That's an unintentional adjustment from Kirby, all those ground balls. Not something he said he was trying to do. He wants that, and I would say he's going right after Adley Rutschman, just like he did Gunnar Henderson. 97 on a platter, but he can't touch it. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes to the all-star catcher. Yeah, every pitcher wants to swing and miss, right? Kirby had 10 strikeouts last time he faced this Orioles club, his last start. Out to left field, Connor Joe is there. Ball finds the new man, and Kirby retires the side in order. On to the bottom of the first. Top of the order, of course, for the Mariners. JP, Cal Raleigh, and then Julio coming up. JP Crawford came off the injured list before last night's game. He's batting leadoff and at third base for the Mariners. 10 home runs for JP Crawford this year. Cal Raleigh bats second, Julio, and then Dom Canzone. There are a couple of players still out. We mentioned Raley, Naylor, both are out of this lineup for the Mariners. So the Mariners also without Randy Arozarena. Lineup looking a little bit different all of a sudden because of that. In fact, Colt Emerson, who we've seen hit ninth so often in his early days in the big leagues. The Mariners shortstop up to the number 7 spot in this game tonight. They're facing Kyle Bradish, making his 15th start and his second in a row against the Mariners.
And he has struggled to get ahead of hitters. I know the Mariners love to be aggressive early in the count, but this might be the day to lay off first pitch. His first pitch strike rate is second lowest among qualified starting pitchers. Sinker, slider, curveball, four-seam, and those last two, the curveball, four-seamer, right-handed batters barely see those two pitches.
A very rare 4-pitch mix. You don't see that too often anymore. Here's JP leading things off. He goes after the first pitch.
I remember the other day you were talking about that. I wasn't on the broadcast, but I was watching. And you were talking about what a jump it's been over the last few years, and the numbers were just insane.
It's up to about 75% of all starting pitchers this year with at least 5 pitches. That's on the top line, 96 miles an hour for a strike. It's 0-2. Well, the Mariners got Bradish for 5 runs over 4 innings last time he faced the M's. He gave up 3 home runs, all to left-handed bats. Close take, and Rutschman right away wants a challenge on a very borderline pitch. Just on the corner, ABS powered by T-Mobile.
Pitch is a strike. Baltimore has 2 remaining.
This is as close as it can get. There is out number 1, Rutschman with a successful challenge.
You mentioned it. I mean, that is about as close as it could. It's like the stitching on the baseball must have nicked the corner.
1 down. Here's Cal Raleigh. It's this hard, and it ticks off Holliday's glove and trickles into right field. That was on the button for a base hit for Cal Raleigh.
At some point, I'm going to stop saying, boy, it's great to have Cal Raleigh back, but not yet. Four-seam fastball, and this is one of the things that he has really focused on while he's been on the injured list, is just being on time, simplifying his swing and being on time, and he turns this one around into center field.
1 out and 1 on for Julio. Well, there's an obvious presence and a clear calm that a guy like Cal Raleigh brings back to the clubhouse, to the lineup, to the dugout.
I was mentioning it off the rip, Aaron. It's like every single facet of this game, from the bullpen, the starting, you know, getting the clutch hit, Cal Raleigh was back doing, and you said it. He allows these pitchers to do nothing else but execute their pitches. He takes away all of the thought process, all those things that might be swirling in their head, and just allows them to just dive down the hill.
One of the best in the game back in the lineup for the Mariners. Activated yesterday off the IL with that oblique. Ooh, man, that was wild. There's a throw down to second base, and they got him. That was a bizarre sequence. A pitch that was, what, feet in front of home plate. They got a check swing from Julio, and Cal taking off, reading pitch in the dirt, and gets thrown out at second.
Yeah, Bradish spikes this curveball about 54 feet, and Adley Rutschman does a really nice job. He knows with this ball in the dirt and how smart Cal is as a base runner. He's going to try to be aggressive. And lucky for Adley Rutschman, it bounces off of him and stays in front of him.
And so suddenly 2 outs and the base is empty. A swing and a miss, and Julio strikes out to retire the side. A couple of punch outs from Bradish, who gives up a hit but faces the minimum. On to the second. George Kirby getting the ball tonight for the Mariners. Now don't forget to vote Mariners. Go to mariners.com/vote. You can cast your ballots up to 5 times per day. Mariners.com/vote. And who will be seen in the Mariners uniform at Citizens Bank Park in Philadelphia this summer? Here's Pete Alonso. Called a strike. No challenge.
There was a few of those last night, and that just goes to show just that one other wrinkle that Cal Raleigh is so good at, stealing strikes.
0-2 quickly on Alonso, 16 home runs. It's funny, I think it's easy for people to think, well, there's a challenge system, so anytime you feel like you're slighted, you just challenge it. But I think some hitters are more comfortable than others, and even if Alonso is comfortable, maybe he's not convinced that pitch was a bad enough call, that leading off the second inning with nobody on base, he's willing to take the risk that he's wrong.
Absolutely. And again, I love the fact that they went with this system with the ABS, so that the catcher's abilities and what they do so well back there are still in play.
Kirby is throwing gas right over the plate tonight and saying do what you can, and so far it's been a lot of swings and misses and foul balls. Alonso, the cleanup hitter.
Yeah, the last time against the Orioles, his fastball was humming as well. Average over 97 and topped out at 99.
A sweeper gets a chase, and there is the first strikeout from Kirby.
And that's what velocity does right there. You can get in those upper 90s, and you can just force these swing decisions, and then all of a sudden he pulls the string on that sweeper, but you've already started your swing. You're already committed.
Samuel Basallo is the batter. And Basallo is a catcher by trade, but DHing quite a bit. The Orioles have this very good problem where they have two young and still young but established catchers in Basallo and Rutschman. So Basallo DHs quite a bit. It was a very odd series when the Mariners were at Camden Yards in Baltimore with Basallo's usage. It was a real storyline on the Baltimore side of things. He was having some type of apparent injury with his wrist that they were not super transparent about, and he didn't start, but then he would come off the bench and have the biggest leverage at bats, sometimes against the left-handed reliever. Broken bat, a little loop, no man's land, and it falls in that Bermuda Triangle. Julio down to his seat, and Basallo holds at first base. So it's the first base runner early on against Kirby. Tonight's Liberty Mutual Insurance field coverage. We're looking at Mariners starting pitcher strikeouts. No rotation has racked up more punch-outs than the Mariners, ahead of the Phillies, Dodgers, and Brewers.
Just really is amazing what jumps the Mariners pitching staff, as good as they were last year. The swing and miss this year. I'm thinking about Logan Gilbert. We know about Brian Wu. And then the name you don't expect to be saying in there, Emerson Hancock.
Huge uptick in his strikeouts. Here's Leody Taveras, the former Mariner. J.P. Crawford's thinking he might drop down a bunt. Coming in on the grass. Instead, he swings at a fastball up and away. But Taveras is having a really nice offensive season, and good for him. He was let go by the Rangers, picked up by the Mariners, did not hit well for the Mariners either. Spent time in Tacoma. Signed as a free agent with Baltimore and has hit well. Guy who won a World Series with Texas.
J.P. Crawford in on the grass before he got to 2 strikes for good reason. He did show bunt yesterday, and I was asking J.P., I was like, what was it like to be in on the cut of the grass? He's like, it's like riding a bike. And I was like, to feel close? He's like, a little bit.
One out, one on. Still 0-2. Yeah, really, you think about the state of the Mariners right now, and there's just a lot going on, right? When you think about, you've got a guy who's played more games at shortstop than any player in franchise history, now playing third base. You are down a number of players, either on the injured list or unavailable. Taveras out to center field. Julio doesn't have to move much. There's the new modified piggyback in the rotation. I mean, there's just a lot happening all at once for the Mariners.
Yeah, you picked a great day to have off yesterday, Aaron. I'm not kidding you. I think Justin Hollander's injury report was, 2.5 hours long. I wasn't sure we were going to get upstairs in time for first pitch. But, yeah, there's just a lot of things going on. And I think within that, it shows how important versatility is. Whether you are a pitcher or whether you're an infielder / outfielder, huge to have Miles here and his ability to sort of be a Swiss Army knife for the Mariners. But crazy to see J.P. Crawford there at third base. I'm still not used to it.
No, not at all. It's going to take some time. 2 outs and Basayo at first base for Tyler O'Neill, former Mariner prospect. Speaking of third, down to a knee. Crawford the short way over to Young at second base. And the side retired. We go to the bottom of the second. We're going to talk to this guy, Logan Gilbert, from the dugout when we come back. Tonight's Wells Fargo Active Mic. We take you to the far end of that Mariners dugout and we say hello to Mariners starting pitcher Logan Gilbert. Logan, it's wonderful to see you. How are you?
All good. Thank you. Thanks for having me on.
He's less like a baseball player right now, more like a football player. He's got a head on a swivel right now.
That's right.
Tom Canzone leads it off. Now, Logan, last time we did this with one of your teammates, it was Mitch Garver. And I believe it was the long arms of Logan Gilbert in the background throwing seeds the whole time. Is that right?
Oh, that doesn't sound right. I don't know about that one. It might have been. I can't say on air.
Who's off camera right now? Aimed at you right now with arms.
This is Bryce right here, as most people could probably guess.
Now, Logan, I know you pitchers are all very superstitious. So, there's Bryce.
There we go.
So I'm not going to say any numbers specifically, but I will say you seem to be in a really good spot as of late. Logan, what do you feel like has been going the best for you over the last month or so?
I don't know if it's any one thing. I think just getting in good counts. All my pitches have felt pretty good in pretty good locations, and sometimes they just hit it to people, so that helps too.
When your fastball's working the way it was yesterday, how does that change the way you attack hitters with your secondary pitches?
I think we're using it more like later in counts or when you get 2 strikes and going for a swing and miss. Sometimes you can use slider or curve all the time where they see it continually and maybe they get a couple better swings off later in the game. So I think the fastball helped with that.
Canzone swings, comes up empty. There is out number 1. Is he throwing gum at you now?
Those gum seeds. He's got a towel. I don't know what this one's about.
What a guy, man.
Good teammate right there.
Hey, sometimes when you guys see Hyphen behind you ever just talking on the air, you can throw seeds at him too,
That's a good idea. We might get him on that. He's ready for it.
You look like great royalty right now with that Gatorade towel on you.
Thank you. I feel like it.
Hey, I know that you have a great relationship with Cal Raleigh. You two know each other maybe better than you would like. Roommates for the minor leagues, the whole thing. Gunnar is there. How great was it to have Cal back last night?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Just something you're comfortable with, him being behind the dish, having so many starts together, all that kind of stuff. So I was joking that he was waiting until I pitched to make his return. And then he stole the show, too, at the end. So that was a lot of fun to see.
Yeah, after seeing him return from injury and then just immediately contribute on both sides of the ball, what does that say about him and his abilities as a teammate?
Just the big moment. He's always ready for it, making his return. Then he goes and hits another ball really hard here tonight. So I think he's in a really good spot right now.
Hey, Logan, before this inning comes to a close, obviously the move that you came up with last year was the fake trident hoist over the dugout.
Yeah, that's right.
Right, because you want people to think that you hit a home run.
That's right.
We noticed that you're not the only guy doing that this year. Have you noticed that as well?
So a couple people have stole it from me at times. Sometimes the hitters play keep away too, so I feel a little bit left out. We got a banana just in case.
What is happening? We just jumped the shark.
A little snack just in case.
Yeah.
But you hoist the trident just so the people behind the dugout think that it's the guy who hit the home run.
Right. I want to feel like I hit the home run,
And you get, and they kind of go crazy for it.
That's right.
They can't see who's holding it. They just see it just come up
They
from
think
underneath
it's,
the
they think
dugout.
it's Cal holding it up. Yeah, I'm back there just trying to get a little attention.
Who is the most likely Mariner player to eat a banana during a game in the dugout?
Oh man, probably Bryce. Maybe he seems like he's always snacking on something, like a beef jerky here.
I would say it's very nice of him to give the banana up and the beef jerky.
A little bit of everything.
Wow, protein. It's important. There
That's
you go.
right.
If your electrolytes up, potassium, got it all right there.
That's right.
Logan, this has been wonderful. Emerson seems like he wants to stay out of trouble. Is what that look is.
Smart man down there.
Hey, thanks for hopping on with us. You seem like you've worked up an appetite.
That's right. Appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you, Logan.
All right, guys.
The well-fed Logan Gilbert. Got a great ratio of carbs to protein right there for him.
He was incredible last night. I mean, the first inning, he kind of, I don't want to say struggled. That's a little bit strong to get through, but then retired 16 straight hitters after that. I mean, he had command of everything.
Helping the Mariners take game one. Chance tonight for a series win. Colt Emerson batting. Robles threw a 4-pitch walk. That's something that Bradish has struggled with. Ball 4, that is, this year. He walked 3 the last time he faced the Mariners. That was his most recent start.
You know me, I like to own it, right, Aaron? And I feel like the Dom Canzone strikeout, that one's on me. In the pregame show, I was talking about how he had only struck out once in his last 30 plate appearances. See what I did? I'm sorry, Dom. That's on me. I owe you one, buddy.
Keeping an eye on Robles over there.
But see, you wisely did it with Logan. You're like, I'm not going to mention the numbers because I know you don't see.
These guys
that's
are.
that you're a pro there. You didn't bring up how well he's doing.
Yeah, they don't like that very much.
No, they don't. See, that's actually why when we were talking about this, because Brad made fun of me. So I'm always talking to the hitting coaches.
Emerson strikes out and a man left. On to the third. A spectacular day in Seattle. Well, if you're still looking for Father's Day plans, you can treat Dad to a ball game this Sunday. The Mariners wrap up their series against the Red Sox. A special Father's Day celebration presented by Muckleshoot Casino Resort. Tickets at mariners.com/tickets for the whole family. Fastball strike to Jackson Holliday, the son of Matt Holliday. Leads things off here in the third inning. Former #1 overall pick back in 2022. 0-2 quickly on the Orioles second baseman. And Cal really trying to hold that on the corner. One, two. That evens the count. Well, when Holliday debuted, he was 20 years old. A guy who can relate to that. A couple of guys who broke in when they were 20. Colt Emerson turning 21 not long from now. Swing and a miss. 97 near the top of the zone. Second strikeout for Kirby.
His command so far today has been excellent. Look at the location on this fastball. 97 right there towards the top of the zone.
The game is getting younger and younger, but nonetheless 20 years old and in the big leagues and making an impact is incredibly rare.
I have a 20-year-old. He's like eating paste right now. I mean, I cannot. Every single time I talk to Colt Emerson, I walk away just shaking my head at his maturity and his baseball IQ.
Now this finds a hole on the right side. Blaze Alexander is aboard. One out, one on. Hey, Hyphen, are you seed free right now? Everything okay down there?
Yeah, I'm all good. But I was in the line of fire, that's for sure. But Bryce Miller, man, I mean, relentless with those seeds. And you know, you guys are trying to hit up Logan Gilbert with some of the tough questions. How good he was last night. He couldn't lock in because of Bryce. Hey, you know what? You can do that when you look like Bryce has looked this year, man. He has looked spectacular. So.
See, I think it's the opposite. I thought that Logan was locked in. I was like, this is what a starting pitcher is able to do, right? Yeah. It's just ignore all the noise and focus in.
I'd be so annoyed. I'm telling you right now, if someone was doing that.
Bananas on
so
your shoulder.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Slim Jims in your like.
This is what Hyphen sounds like when he's hungry. Okay, that's what's really happening here. 2-0 to Taylor Ward, leadoff man, 1 out and 1 on. Alexander lead at first. Now, so many strikes tonight from George Kirby.
Hey, one thing I'm noticing with that too, with that fastball command, you can see Cal just trying to get him on that glove side. So away to righties, into lefties. He keeps trying to pound that spot. Not all of them are good. There's a couple misses out over the plate. But you see him just setting up on that side of the plate all night long. George Kirby, when last year, remember he had the shoulder injury. He sort of lost that arm slot a little bit. It was a little lower. That's a pitch that once he got by the end of the year, just a different story, especially all these lefties that are just running in and then back out over the plate.
High target here from Cal on a 2-2. And it does go high, well above the zone, but Ward thought about going around, checks the swing, still 2 balls and 2 strikes. Now we saw Kirby's velocity noticeably up in the first inning, 98-99. It's kind of settled down to more of a normal pace for George now.
George has had that fastball command. It's just about avoiding that big inning. That happened to him last time out. He was cruising, making pitches, and then Alonso got him. He tried to beat Alonso the 3rd time in a row. That heater up.
Julio has this come right to him out there in center field. Ward retired.
Yeah, to piggyback on what Ryan was saying, a couple times, 2 of the base knocks that scored runs last time when Kirby faced the Orioles were out of the strike zone. You know, you're thinking, okay, I'm just wasting a pitch, or I'm trying to get the chase, and they're able to put it in play.
And we've talked about that all first half with George Kirby, just trying to overcome that moment on the mental side where he doesn't get frustrated, but the game has sped up on him a little bit. Look, 6 innings, 3 runs, you'll take it, but man, all coming in bunches. Going back a couple starts ago, that 4th inning against the Mets, all of a sudden he was missing out over the plate, and they got really aggressive against him.
0-1 to Gunnar Henderson. Does he go? No, he does not. Alexander takes off. This ball is blasted out to right field at the wall. Robles watches it sail for a home run. Gunnar Henderson, a 2-run smash, his 15th this year, and the Orioles take an early lead.
Up until this point, we've been talking about just how good the location has been for George Kirby, particularly on the fastball. The location on this pitch, no, not so much. And I don't know if this was because he knew the runner was going. You see Cal coming out of his stance to throw him out at second base, and maybe he sort of hurried things up, his delivery to home plate, but it's a home run for Gunnar Henderson, his 15th.
That brings up Adley Rutschman, having a terrific season offensively after a couple of down years. Switch hitting catcher. Swinging out of his shoes at a good changeup. 1 ball and 1 strike. Kirby for so long had that splitter, did not have a good feel for the split finger last year, made the adjustment, now throws the changeup. When you ask Kirby, hey, do you still have the splitter? His answer, of course, is yes. But he just doesn't throw it. Kind of like the knuckleball, I guess. Soft ground ball. Young charges down by the shoelaces over to first base to retire the side. Henderson's 2-run home run has given the Orioles the lead. Yeah, you know, when one of your teammates gets on the mic, you got to take care of your brother. A couple of towels, some seeds, banana, you know, whatever else you got. Coming up at the end of the month, it's a 3-day Cal Raleigh Funko Pop giveaway. The first 10,000 fans June 29th and 30th and July 2nd will take home this one-of-a-kind collectible before the Mariners take on the Angels. Mariners.com/tickets. We got the City Connect. Trident in hand. Cal Raleigh Funko Pop.
I love that the Mariners are doing these multi-day giveaways because I can't tell you how many times. I mean, even when I'm not in the booth or working as a fan, I'm like, oh, I want that. And I'm like, but it's today. Oh, guess what? I could go tomorrow.
Got 3 chances. That is called a strike just above the zone. Nothing to 1 to Connor Joe, just recalled. First-year Mariner. Joe batting 8th and in left field. We were talking about the All-Star game earlier, and you can vote for your Mariners now. All-Star voting is open, and Mariners right now are having to play without a guy who was looking like he'll be a shoo-in in the All-Star game, in Randy Arozarena. Connor Joe in left field in his absence, but Randy, that hamstring injury, having to go on the injured list before first pitch last night.
He's right there on the edge right now in regards to the first round of voting. But it was so crazy, though. Curtis Washington Jr., what an absolute amazing day for him. You're in high A Everett thinking, all right, you know, this is just any other day, and you get the call up and you're like, hey, they need you down at T-Mobile Park.
Most people playing in Everett aren't used to driving here to play in a game.
No.
It is pretty cool with the still somewhat new structure of the minor leagues, where every Monday is an off day. For some time now, there have been a number of players for the Aqua Sox who will come here on a Monday night, off night, and watch a game just like a fan.
You're right. You're right. We've seen quite a bit of them, and you know, where I've seen them is actually out, like when we're doing the pre or the post game show, out in center field. They seem to all gravitate towards the bullpen out there.
Joe leads things off in the home third. I remember talking with a former prospect for the Mariners, Harry Ford, who's now in the Nationals organization. Harry talked about coming out to Mariner games, sitting in the stands, and taking notes on Logan Gilbert pitch sequencing on his phone while watching the game. So he was taking in a game, but he wasn't exactly watching it like normal people would.
He was one of the ones that I saw out there in the bullpen, by the way. I just didn't want to bring him up because he's not here anymore. Shout out Harry Ford.
Yeah, all the best to Harry. Made his major league debut last year with the Mariners, and sent over to D.C. this offseason in the deal for Jose Ferrer. This will be pitch number 8 to Connor Joe. Strike 3 call. That was a borderline pitch.
Tough location on this one. Yeah.
And through the EQC tracer has it right there on the top line, getting a piece of it. Was a strike. Bradish has struck out now 5 of the first 8 batters. Bradish is in his first full season coming off Tommy John. He had a breakout season back in 2023. He started 30 games for the Orioles. Had a sparkling ERA. Good combination of strikeouts and ground balls that year. Top 5 Cy Young finish just a few years ago for Bradish. But then made just 8 starts the following year. So that was in 2024 before needing Tommy John. He recovered through last season and then came back onto the mound in the major leagues and pitched for the first time in August of last year.
Well, that was the thing, is he was trying to pitch through discomfort in May of 2024, significant pain, and just at one point he finally said enough before relenting and having the surgery.
When you talk about pitching on the edges and the corners, after he struck out Joe on the very top rail, he finds the corner down and away to Miles Mastrobuoni.
Yeah, Bradish tonight with really good pitch sequences. He's standing guys up and bending them over, standing them up, bending them over.
He's gone through the order one time now, back to the top, J.P. Crawford. Oh, that one really took off on him. Two outs, nobody on. Ground ball. Here comes Gunnar Henderson halfway over to first base to retire the side. He faces the minimum out of the fourth. Kirby and the Mariners game 2 tonight against the Orioles.
T-Mobile.
The insurance you get brought to you by Pimco Insurance. Most runners left on base versus the Mariners this season. So this is to say, when a player is batting, how many players does he leave on base when he makes an out? And for Pete Alonso, he has left 18 Orioles on base. And that's saying something given the fact that, well, this is tonight only the 6th game he's played against the Mariners. He has historically this year batted with lots of traffic, but he is hit with even more so when facing the Mariners. And Angie, it really felt like in that 4-game series in Baltimore, the Mariners were just playing with fire every single time. Multiple times Alonso came up with the bases loaded, but more times than not, the Mariners were able to get him out.
Well, the other thing that Alonso has been doing this year is hitting the ball hard, but right at guys. He's got 39 batted balls that are 100 miles per hour plus that have resulted in outs. So yeah, you're playing with fire if this guy is at the plate and you've got runners on, because he's hitting it hard. And he's not always going to hit it at him.
Call a strike. Found a couple of misses here tonight. Again, another one to Alonso. No challenge.
Sorry, I'm giving the credit to Cal. You know I am. I mean, his hands are so quick in presenting that baseball.
Well, you mentioned Alonso back in that series. Remember that Emerson Hancock start? I mean, that was a struggle for Emerson. He got through 5, but that was the turning point. There was loaded bases. Alonso was up. Could just get that sac fly. Gave it gave him a chance for some breathing room. And by the way, too, George Kirby beat him up. That's the 3rd time he's done that in 2 games with that fastball. Gone back upstairs. He tried it that last at bat. Didn't get the swing. Ended up going to the breaking ball. But just staying relentless with that hitter against Alonso at the top of the strike zone.
Alonso's reaction after striking out the 2nd straight at bat facing Kirby. There's Masayo.
Well, and that's what that strikeout on the sweeper does in his first at bat, because he's got that in the back of his mind. He's thinking, okay, he's going to come with the slow stuff again, and then all of a sudden, he blows his doors off with the heater at the top of the zone.
Really jackknifes him, that fastball running in on him. 1 ball and 1 strike to the Orioles DH. Kirby behind 3-1. Kirby did not have a 3-ball count to any batter the first 3 innings. He's run the count to 3 balls each of the first 2 batters this frame. Finds the corner to make it full. Hit hard past Mastrobuoni. That ball smokes. Robles gets to it in front of the warning track. Basayo trying to take 2. The throw hops into second base. Tag applied. Anderson's got it down, and Basayo is out. Victor Robles getting to that ball fast.
This is something that the Mariners outfielders were working on earlier today. They were working on drills, working on their do-or-dies, and that's you know, the footwork that you've got to have when you've in a position to throw out a runner. Let's see if he's able to get around this tag, but a really good throw.
Ooh, very close. Basayo thought immediately, he pointed to the dugout, indicating he thought he was safe. Let's take another look. Our Snoqualmie Supremo. And the tag going on the shin just before his foot touches the bag. So Robles, who's starting tonight with Rayleigh, still a little banged up, dealing with a back issue.
But again, for years, we've been seeing the Mariners infielders take those drills with Perry Hill, you know, on their knees and then standing up and making sure their hands are good and fielding the ball out in front and all the 6 Fs. But now we're starting to see the outfielders go through a series of drills as well. And it's really so important because you saw right there, bang, bang play. They don't have any extra or missed footsteps that they can take.
Kirby faces the minimum for the bottom of the 4th inning. Cal Raleigh leads things off when we come back. You are looking live at Hyphen's pass list.
Yes. They're showing up. They're coming. Be ready.
You know, looks like they're coming in full force, to be quite honest about it.
Of me right now. Look.
He's like, wait, they got beers on sticks in this country?
It's getting excited.
Got some Socceroo fans in the house. Australia plays USA on Friday at noon, right across the street.
Just a couple more. Look at that.
Oh, we got the crossover. We got the Mariner fan and the Socceroo fan. Cal leads things off.
I just want to know, is Ryan going to go yellow, green, yellow with his face paint or green, yellow, green?
Well, first of all, Angie, it's green and gold.
Gold. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Sorry.
Okay, so let's get that clear. But
yikes.
Yeah, no, I was on Amazon this morning making sure I got the green and gold face paint ready to go. On Friday.
Eric Young Jr. ducking for cover over there. That was 107. Wasn't into foul ground. 2-1. That right there, that tone you heard from Hyphen was him furious. Don't disrespect the motherland like that.
Well, I did get my boy Nate down here, who's operating the camera, saying, "Hey man, look at those Aussie jerseys out Brazil." I was like, "Come on, Nate, come on, let's get it right. Let's get real."
I can understand.
Look at this.
Green and gold, and I apologize because, like, yeah, purple and gold for the Huskies, and my mom would say things like purple and yellow. In fact, she often would talk about the fact that I went to Washington State, and I'm like, Mom, I know you're not from the state of Washington, you live in Florida, but it's I don't go to Washington State. It's very different, very different. So I meant no disrespect, my friends.
Cal gets in a good count, takes a big swing, and now runs it full. He's followed by Julio, then Canzone. 2-0 Orioles on a 2-run homer by Gunnar Henderson in the 3rd inning. Got in on his hands a little bit. Flies out to right field. There is O'Neill to make the catch. Well, if we take you back to last Friday, right across the street at Victory Hall, man, what a watch party it was. You can look at the full schedule of watch parties at victoryhallsea.com. And the weather was perfect. This is when the Mariners were on the road. And they've got all the games on there, both inside and outside.
That looks like fun.
Here's Julio. Bottom of the zone for a strike. This is our counterbalance one. Is that what we got so far, guys?
Gotta do better than
We're
that.
zooming out, trying to find more. Is Hyphen directing the show too?
I'm down here pressing buttons. I've got 20 camera angles in front of me.
1-1 to Julio, who struck out his first time up. Yeah, Friday will be a scene. Oh my gosh, hyphen. Is that a inflatable kangaroo with a?
Of course.
With a Mariner. Is that a?
That's an Aussie flag.
No, it's an Aussie flag. Again, I apologize. Apologies from the booth. Smoked out to right field and short hop in the wall. Julio into second base, and he stands up there with a double. A milestone double for Julio Rodriguez, who has just become the third fastest player in baseball history with 125 home runs, doubles, and stolen bases.
Julio's just so strong, and this ball just continued to carry over O'Neill's head out in right field. 104 miles per hour off the bat.
A pretty impressive company for Julio, the third fastest all time in terms of games played.
That's amazing. I mean, sometimes you take that for granted, right?
Julio's on his way home to score. Dom Canzone makes it a one-run game. Everybody's happy about it. It's the power of the inflatable kangaroo. Nations being united tonight inside T-Mobile Park.
Italy and Australia. And this is what Dom Canzone is doing so well right now, is staying up the big part of the field, staying up the middle, not coming off of the baseball.
Cole Young takes high for ball one. So the Mariners are on the board. One-run game. Young actually homered off of Kyle Bradish last time these two teams squared off. It was a leadoff home run for Young. Rattles that foul at the plate. By the way, back to Julio for a moment. The only two players to reach that triple threat milestone faster than Julio of 125 home runs, doubles, and stolen bases. Ronald Acuna Jr. and Alfonso Soriano. He's in front of Tatis Jr., Bobby Bonds, and Darryl Strawberry.
Good company indeed.
Into shallow center field. Leody Taveras is there. 2 outs. Canzone stays put. Here comes Victor Robles. Now the Mariners really did not have anything going off of Bradish the first 3 innings. He faced just 1 over the minimum and struck out 6 of the first 9 that he faced before Julio's double and Canzone's RBI single.
Yeah, that came out of the gates really aggressive against him. So he's just able to, with way more ease, get to those 2-strike count and so that breaking ball. We're starting to see some of these 2-0, 2-1s start to mount up against Bradish, as they're seeing in that second time through.
A lot of swing and miss for the lefties. Dom Canzone strikes out in his first at-bat against the curveball. He singles in his next at-bat. Miles, Colt Emerson, you know, all lefties going down with strikeouts the first time through.
Now the slider is not where Bradish wanted it, but he gets a swing and a miss. 1-2. That's more where he wanted it.
Robles less enthusiastic about that location. Good pitch.
Staying away. 2-2. Now Robles would not normally be in the starting lineup against a righty, but Luke Raley dealing with a sore back, so Robles getting the start in right field. A swing and a miss, spins him around like a top, stuck with the spin, and he got him. Well, speaking of Team USA and the Socceroos, some early BP today. Yeah, the guys giving you a good peek at tomorrow's giveaway, the Stars and Stripes. Hey, watch out. Shirt there as the Mariners honoring Team USA. George Kirby getting the start tonight. And so far, 10 swings and misses for Kirby through 4 innings.
Oh, his four-seam fastball's been good, sinker as well, but his secondary pitches, he's got a couple swing and misses on the knuckle curveball, strikeout on the two-seamer, the slider, as well as the knuckle curveball.
He's facing the bottom third of the order here. Tyler O'Neill leads things off. You think back to what the Mariners farm system was like at one point in a different era, and this guy was the only top 100 prospect the Mariners had at one point. Tyler O'Neill, eventually traded to St. Louis. Mariners got Marco Gonzalez back. Really a trade that feels like worked out well for both sides. Marco, a 2-time opening day starter for the Mariners. O'Neill won a Gold Glove in St. Louis, had his best years in the big leagues. But now you think about it, and the Mariners prospect rankings change over the course of a season because some guys graduate, others get put into the top 100 because of other graduations. But year in and year out, the Mariners, it feels like, has a baseline of 5 top 100s at a time, as many as 7 or 8. And it's just, it has become a real strength of this organization, and that is not something you could always say in years past. On the corner. Sweeper catches him looking, and O'Neill is strikeout victim number 5.
Well, and it's not just the pitchers like George Kirby coming up through this organization, but the position players as well. But paint right there and late flight for George Kirby.
Very different time for Mariners baseball, especially in the developmental side of things. There is Jackson Holliday as Kirby wants a new ball. And Scott Hunter is so involved in all of that success for the Mariners. He has taken over quite some time ago at this point, the Mariners draft. Holliday really shoots this deep out to the gap in right center field. Julio is on the track. He's got space and he makes the catch. Holliday allowed out number 2. A word from AAA Washington.
At AAA, you already know we got cool trucks, but did you know we also have insane insurance? AAA Washington, become a member today.
You're just mentioning Scott Hunter, and that's the name I kind of have circled. I mean, there's so many people that come together to make this happen, but it really is incredible how they have been able to evaluate and acquire talent and develop that talent.
Blaze Alexander. Well, you look at the guys on the field right now: Kirby, first rounder; Cal, third rounder; Cole Young, first rounder; Emerson, first rounder. In fact, Gilbert and Cal were in the same draft, first and third round picks.
Yeah, the other amazing part about this with the Mariners too is usually you have that good run of draft picks and you build it up. You got that top five ranked farm system, but the Mariners are in that sweet spot right now where they are a contending team, American League West, front runners, and they've got pretty much a top 3 ranked farm system to go with it. Usually that farm system gets depleted once you have that run, or it starts slipping about the mid-range. You start trading some of these pieces away to compete.
Yeah,
it's unreal.
It's just wave after wave after wave. And I know, Some pitchers maybe want to talk about, others don't, but the piggyback. But even the piggyback itself, Aaron, you know, that is a thing that was presented to the pitchers, and all 6 pitchers unanimously approved this. And I think that goes to say a lot about the culture that this organization has built, and every single one of these guys rooting for the guys next to him.
Well, this is a little beanbag that dumps into right field. Blaze Alexander a base hit. He's 2 for 2. A couple of singles both that direction.
This is up and in, and he just tries to basically fight off this pitch, and it ends up finding grass out in right field.
There's an interesting spot here for George Kirby. We talked about that, avoiding that big inning and the frustration. He's got 2 outs. He gets that little, like you called it, a beanbag, Goldie. The situation now, you get that 75 pitch mark, and look at Cal coming out. See, understanding the fact that they're facing this order 3rd time through, and the situation where it's like, all right, take a breath, knowing your guy, getting that 3rd out in the 5th so he can press the reset button, come out and try and finish strong. Couldn't do that last time out. I know he only gave up the 3 runs, but that 6th inning got away from him.
It's been an efficient night by and large for George. Trying to work around that 2-out single from Alexander.
And sometimes those little bloops into the outfield can frustrate you way more than the big knocks. Or the mistakes you give up out of the middle of the plate where you can kind of tip your cap. Those ones right there kind of frustrate you. Got that 9-hole hitter.
Yeah, and it was a great pitch. Great pitch. And he just happened to, you know, fight it off. And the other thing he's got to be careful with Ward, he was so aggressive last night. He hit that double off the wall on the first pitch, ambushed a fastball, and was just inches away from starting yesterday's game off with a home run.
Well, Mastrobuoni's pointed over to the dugout. Alexander, I mean, got knocked off his spot a little bit there.
Miles is like, I totally pushed him off. I think I got him.
Nothing coming in terms of a challenge. Tough hitter at the plate in Taylor Ward. To left field for a base hit. And 2 on now. And this lineup gets pretty serious pretty quickly, as we've seen firsthand.
I was talking about how, you know, this season Taylor Ward's been pretty patient. He was not last night, swinging at first pitch fastball, and he does the same thing again here.
I'm curious here with Gunnar Henderson. His command wasn't great. George Kirby, the fastball, threw a ton of fastballs. He was missing out over the plate. He was able to get enough on the inner half. Tried to beat Gunnar with that pitch. Inner half, he was able to put a good swing to it. Let's see how he attacks him out the gates here.
On the ground, Mastrobuoni back a step. Kirby covering the bag. And George Kirby strands the pair and keeps it a 1-run game. 20-year-old Colt Emerson leads things off when we go to the bottom of the 5th.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Seattle Mariners and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Seattle Mariners.
Colt Emerson leads it off. Takes a strike over the plate, 0-1. Bottom 3rd of the order, Joe and Mastrobuoni to follow. Seven strikeouts for Kyle Bradish so far tonight. While walking just 1, he has really been hamstrung at times this year, issuing ball 4, but that's not been the case so far this evening. Does he go? Yes, he does. Emerson not pleased. He strikes out on 3 pitches. That's the 8th strikeout now for Bradish. A message now from Papa Murphy's.
Great pizza doesn't have to cost a fortune. Summer Selects at Papa Murphy's are just $8.99 all summer long. We make it fresh. You bake it hot. Papa Murphy's, the way pizza should be.
Leadoff man retired in front of Connor Joe. This ball is hit on a line, and it kicks away from Taveras. It's rolling all the way to the warning track. Joe, the turn, racing into third. He is out at third base.
Well, he smokes this ball, and Leotis Taveras can't quite handle it in center field. Once he realizes he's not going to catch it, he's way too close. He gets the short hop, but a really nice relay and an on-target throw to get Connor Joe at third base.
Alexander handled that throw well. So a double for Joe, but thrown out trying to stretch it to a triple. Does he go? Yes, he does. Strike one of Mastroboni. Now, not a whole lot of base runners so far tonight for the Mariners. Just one run on 4 hits, just the one walk. And Rutschman wanting to challenge this pitch on the corner. Rutschman has won one ABS challenge already, and he wins another.
Pitch is a strike. Baltimore has 2 remaining.
So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Mastroboni.
Radish is just 1 out away here from getting through the 5th inning. This is somewhere where he's not able to get over his last couple of starts. Didn't even get into the 5th inning, including his last start against the Mariners, throwing just 4.
Strike 3 called. Radish, 9 strikeouts, just 1 run over 5. Pretty dominant innings. Well, some birds fly south for the winter. With a Washington's lottery win, you can fly anywhere, anytime. Let your imagination take flight. Play today. Got a house divided there. What? One parent an O's fan, the other parent a Mariners fan, maybe? George Kirby.
I understand that. I actually grew up a Baltimore Orioles fan, and kind of continued to be a Baltimore Orioles fan as long as they weren't playing the Mariners.
There's strike 1 to Rutschman. All right, so Mariners overall.
Of course, yeah. That's not even a contest.
Rutschman, this is hanging up towards the gap. Julio gets there and leaps to take it out of thin air.
This is actually a pretty nice piece of hitting by Adley Rutschman. Stays back on a changeup, ends up driving it into left center field. But Julio Rodriguez, he is so smooth out there. He's able to cover so much ground, pumping his arms and then reaching at the last minute.
Here is Alonso with one out after that fantastic catch from Julio. Alonso struck out twice. 1-1. Bullpen is up for the Mariners. Hoppy and Bizzardo, a couple of right-handers getting loose. A swinging bunt. It stays fair. Kirby on to first. Mastrobuoni can't make the play. Not sure it would have been in time either way. It was close over at first base, and Alonso is safe. That is not what you think about when you think about Pete Alonso.
No, everybody playing back, including J.P. Crawford. George Kirby is the only chance, and Miles Mastrobuoni doesn't play a whole lot of first base. This one off his glove and took a piece of his shoulder or chest on the way.
Well, this is a big spot for George Kirby. You think about besides hit a couple hitters out over the plate. First one was a little bloop in the center field, and you can see again Cal coming out. It's one of these moments. Cal knows to head out there because he hit that all of a sudden at 82 pitches. This was that inning, that last time out where he gave it up. Again, that frustrating moment, too, a little swinging bunt. Cal picking his spots wisely right here and make sure Cal can, George Kirby can get through this inning.
We saw him do this last night with Logan Gilbert as well, coming out, calming things down, and that's just one of those little things that Cal Raleigh does.
If you want to look at something that is pure baseball randomness in so many ways, the first time that George Kirby ever pitched against the Orioles, the Mariners won that game 10-0. In the 8 starts since, the Mariners have scored 11 runs.
Now I'm telling you, when you have got that limited of runs, you know, I've been through this stretch before, man. It just changes the way you go about hitters.
Basayo out to the gap again. Julio and Joe. Did he make a clean catch? Yes, he did. He dropped it on the transfer. Okay, that was dicey. Not so much the drop, but the near collision out there. Although you could categorize both as dicey.
It's good to go over with Connor Joe, the hierarchy here. Center fielder, I call it. You get out of my way.
So 2 outs and a man at first base.
Everybody wants to keep their teeth.
Here's Leody Taveras. Yeah, Hyphen, sometimes you talk about one guy on the staff who just draws the short straw in terms of run support, but it's wild when it's over a span of years against one team in particular. It's very strange.
Well, I played with Felix Hernandez, who, just for a long stretch just did not get the run support, and that's
not against one team, against everyone.
Yeah, he was dominating. I'm talking start after start. It was a situation where we're sitting in the dugout going, what is it? And it feels like guys press a little bit in that dugout too when they know that they've got the guy on the mound and they know about the run support trying to help him out. There's conversation in between innings, and man, it just makes it that much tougher, especially too when you don't have all your best bullets. If you're missing a certain pitch or whatever it may be, and you're trying to grind through these outings with such a close game.
Well, I don't care if you're out on the mound or in the batter's box. Like, the expectation that you need to be perfect or have the feeling that you need to be perfect is not something that's sustainable. It's a hard way to perform.
The 1-2. Kirby getting near 90 pitches. Bizzardo is warming.
He knows it too. You can look over your shoulder, know that bullpen's going. This is your hitter right here. The big out. Try and get through that 6th.
2-2. Cal trying to bring that down, but it was high. It's a full count. Yeah, you wonder if Taveras reaches here and Alonso gets into scoring position, if that will be the end of the road for Kirby.
Cal Raleigh right there jumping out, reminding everybody it's 3-2 with the 2-0 count to hold your ground. The runner's going.
Here it comes from Kirby. Gets him to chase, but he's able to fight it off and see another pitch.
And this would be huge again. You don't want to go 5 2/3. You want to go 6. You want to finish this inning off, walk back to the dugout on your own terms.
The 3-2. Hit hard into the gap in right center field and rolling for a while. Trouble for the Mariners. Alonso is on his way home. Taveras hustling into third, and he slides in with a run-scoring triple. It's a 3-1 O's lead in the 6th inning.
This was hit 108 miles per hour off the bat, just right down the middle of the plate, center. And Taveras, no doubt about it, he can fly, and he gets into third.
So to still Kirby facing O'Neill, and a sweeper misses down and away for ball 1.
Yeah, and I think George Kirby's still out there because the score, right? They're down by a couple runs, and again, you just knowing what it means to finish this 6th inning. He gave up that run. All right, let's go. We'll give you one more. Time for you to finish strong. You can see the reaction from George Kirby right there, even finishing off this 6th inning.
Julio puts it away to retire the side. Taveras, though, gets that run back for the Orioles. 2-run game. Going to the bottom of the 6th. It's the top of the order due up for the Mariners when we come back. Tuesday, June 30th, it's Best Buds Night right here at T-Mobile Park. You can celebrate this dynamic duo. We're talking about Josh Naylor and the Mariners team dog Tucker as the Mariners team pup with a limited edition t-shirt. A special offer available only at mariners.com/bestbuds. This is deflected, and Alexander is able to recover. 1 down. Bradish gives the thumbs up.
J.P. Crawford hits this right back. Didn't hit a hard spot, just off of his glove, but nice adjustment by Alexander to come get it. Bradish, though, I mean, his pitch count looks fantastic. Just 67 pitches right now. Baltimore Orioles bullpen starting to stir, but nobody really with any sort of urgency.
He has struck out 9 batters. He's 1 shy from a season high. He's 2 away from a career best. Cal Raleigh look like Cal Raleigh in terms of the swing, the comfort level to you?
Yeah, the MLB Network, Harold Reynolds did a big thing on him and his timing and sort of when he's decided to start his leg kick in relation to the pitcher breaking his hands. And I was talking about this with Bobby and Seitzer today, and they said his timing is much better, but just more so because he simplified things. Before, his hands used to rock sort of up and down a lot more, and right now he's just right there. It's just very little movement. From there, go.
A skyscraper of a fly ball. It is caught by O'Neill right at the top of the wall.
Show Adele, and now this. You got to be kidding me. O'Neill going up, and no doubt about it, robbing a home run away from Cal Raleigh.
Here's Julio. Rutschman trying to keep that a strike, but just off the plate for ball 1.
I'm not exactly sure how I want to call that 9. Usually I do 9 in a warning track. I kind of gave it 2 warning tracks. It's almost like rainbow-like in my scorebook right now.
I tell you what, I know he got robbed right there, but the last couple of swings from Cal, last couple of at-bats, you're talking about the timing. I feel like he was popping everything up. He was kind of caught in between on different pitches. And you're starting to see him get that bat head out at the right time and just missing that number 8.
That straightens up Julio, 3-1.
He's another guy trying to find his rhythm again, having a tough month of June. Julio had a lot of balls back on the ground again, like we saw early in the year.
Julio smiling a little bit after chasing that slider down and off the plate. He calls for time. Three-two. He's out. Julio strikes out. That is the 10th today for Bradish to match his season high. Beautiful night out on the Sound after 6. Orioles have the lead. Now George Kirby getting the start tonight in game 2. Another quality start, 6 innings and 3 runs tonight for the Mariners starting pitcher.
Well, you love to see the 0 walks, 5 punch outs tonight. The 3 earned runs is looking very similar to this last start against the Baltimore Orioles. Those 3 runs coming in the 6th inning. It was good to see him finish that inning tonight.
Muckleshoot Casino Resort pin report as Hoppy takes over to work the 7th. Now 99 gets boxed a little bit by Cal, and it might have cost him a strike. Ball 1. This is not great news for the Mariners. Victor Robles has moved from right field to center field. Julio is out of the game, and Refsnyder takes over in right field. Julio had the last at bat to end the 6th. This is the last swing that Julio took just moments ago. Nothing immediate there.
Well, Goldie's interesting, man. We saw him off his feet for a couple innings in that Bryce Miller start in DC, that first game, and then he was DHing that last game, so he might be carrying something he's dealing with, some little niggling injury at the moment.
And we're being told that he was looked at, Julio that is, in the dugout after the previous half inning when he came off the field. So whatever is going on, I don't think we can tell it all from that last replay we saw, but it's at least serious enough to get him out of this game. A 2-run game, no less. A walk. This is Julio in the dugout immediately following that.
Yeah, again, it could be something manageable too. Again, that first game in DC where they took him out when they had the opportunity, probably because he's dealing with something mid-afternoon, hitting the training table for some reason we don't know about. And never a good sign, especially right now trying to get back in rhythm in the month of June. He had a rough road trip.
The one thing that you've seen, kind of fall off the table lately is the extra base hits with Julio Rodriguez. And, he's just so strong. He doesn't need to swing strong. You saw him try to check his swing there, and I certainly hope that, what's bugging him right now isn't as a result of that.
One ball and 1 strike to Blaze Alexander. Julio has played in every game this year. He played in 160 games last year. This was when Julio came off the field. Cal Torgerson, Mariners trainer, right there waiting for him.
Yeah, see, it looks like this is, they're having a lot of conversations. You can tell just by that reaction where KT's all over him about, hey, how you feeling? Probably after every at bat, we're just not catching it. Manage that. Whatever that is, I'm sure we'll get some answers after the game.
Two and two.
I tell you what, though, man. I mean, think about last year, the Mariners. When you talk about key players hitting the IL, we had some issues, obviously, with the pitching. You had Matt Brash coming, making that late start. Obviously, Bryce Miller, was on and off. George Kirby, but you just felt the impact so much with that man right there. Cal Raleigh early in 2026. Brendan Donovan. JP missed a little bit of time. It's amazing when you're trying to get to that finish line, winning the division, get to the postseason. Health is such a big part of it.
Well, the Mariners are banged up right now like they haven't been in a long time. And certainly recent memory.
Now, you hated sort of watching the losses pile up on this road trip, but more than that, it was the injuries and to critical players throughout this road trip. It seemed like every single city they stopped in, they had somebody else go down.
Well, they lost 3 players to the injured list on that road trip. They lost 2 games. This kicks off the mound past Emerson into center field. A hard turn by Holiday, an aggressive one. He tiptoes into third, and the Orioles have him on the corners for the top of the order.
This fastball turned around. And more importantly, all of a sudden, runners on the corners, and you're facing the top of the order again with the dangerous hitter and Taylor Ward, followed by Gunnar Henderson.
Chopping, Crawford has it, slings to second, on to first base in time for the double play. A run scores. That's that leadoff walk to Holiday. It's a 4-1 Orioles lead.
And that's what really makes that sting. That leadoff walk is the one that comes around to score, but a really nifty play started here by J.P. Crawford. So good at throwing from that low angle, doesn't waste any time releasing that baseball to second base.
Base is now empty, 2 out. Strike 1 to Gunnar Henderson.
The other thing that makes that happen, I mean, in addition to J.P. Crawford getting rid of it so quickly, he hits Cole Young right from the center of his body to the backside. That allows you to just make a quick transfer and throw right from there.
All right, Hyphen. Is this, we've seen this happen to Hoppy quite a bit.
Yeah, a couple times on the road trip. Trying to overcook it.
Just trying to make something nasty even nastier.
And we've seen it with 2 strikes a couple times on the road trip, just trying to bury that pitch. Hey, look, if he can come back with that right there, that slider. Look, he has got really potent stuff, and everything kind of goes in that same direction. Everything's got that depth to it. That slider is very depthy. He's got that bowling ball sinker of a fastball as well. Just a matter of getting it to those spots. Not ending up right there in the middle of the plate, especially with 2 strikes.
Facing Gunnar Henderson, 1 and 2. 2 outs, a run in, bases clean. Strike 3 called, 99 at the knees. A run does come in this inning, though, for the Orioles. It's time to stretch. O's by 3. Mariners TV is brought to you by the Washington Lottery. Washington's Lottery helps fund the Washington Grants. Free money for college, training, or apprenticeships. Our Overlake Medical Center scoreboard. Orioles in front 4-1. Mariners' lone run in this game coming out of Dom Canzone. Ribby single back in the 4th. Bradish has been in control in this one. He has matched a season high 10 strikeouts. He's one shy of equaling a career best.
He's trying to get through 7 innings here tonight. He has been through 7 innings just once so far this season. He needed 94 pitches to do it, and his pitch count again in really good shape tonight.
Here's Canzone leading things off. Goes after a high pitch and sails this deep into the corner. And foul.
Wow.
Yeah,
that was impressive opposite field.
Canzone has had really the best stretch of his career, and for this month in particular, batting a crisp .400. Getting on base, hitting for all kinds of power, of course.
Over the last 19 games, he's leading baseball in slugging. I mentioned, he's been putting the ball in play. Even if he's not hitting the doubles and the home runs, he's finding a way to put the ball in play and taking his singles where he'll get them.
Yeah, he said something to me on the road trip, which was interesting. He said hitting behind Luke Raley, especially when Luke was going well in the month of May, kind of helped him get into a nice rhythm with his approach. He kind of lost that approach. He had that at the end of last year, and he kind of lost that where he was second guessing some of the pitches and some of the, how guys were trying to get him out. And another thing he said to me too, we've talked all about that leg kick, right? He's had the toe tap and the big leg kick. He's gotten to a place now where it's like the leg kick doesn't have to be perfect. The lower half he can just kind of sit up there if he wants. He can be quicker with the lower half. He's not so fixated in making sure that lower half is perfect every swing.
I think he's come to the realization, I don't need to take a swing every single time to try to blast a baseball 450 feet. All I have to do is touch it, and it's going to go. I mean, he's got that kind of thunder in his bat.
And Rutschman feeling that one a little bit, it looks like.
See if Bradish tries to snap off a breaking ball like he did with Julio, 3-2 count. He's been tough tonight. Look, he's had a couple breaks. Connor Joe getting thrown out, that was huge for him. Obviously a ball robbed in right field, but when things are going well, sometimes you get some of those breaks. Let's see if he challenges Dom right here, or goes to that breaking ball below the strike zone.
He's only walked 1 batter so far tonight through 6+ innings. (3-2). He walks Canzone, his second walk tonight. A message now from the Washington beef farmers and ranchers.
Win or lose, it's really about how you feed the game, right? Together, we bring more. Beef, it's what's for dinner.
Let's see if the Mariners can get something going here. No one warming in that Orioles bullpen. Bradish looks over his shoulder and realizes this is all on him. None out here in the 7th.
Young pops up the first pitch. Alonso calling for it. 1 out. Day baseball tomorrow, 1:10 our first pitch time. First 15,000 fans will take home a Stars and Stripes soccer jersey thanks to Alaska Airlines. You can gear up for the big game and rep the Mariners before Team USA takes on Australia Friday. Mariners.com/tickets to lock in your seats. When I think about the Mariners at home against the Orioles, a midweek matinee, I think about Hisashi Iwakuma's no-hitter. Robles. So after that leadoff walk, 2 pitches and 2 outs, both popped up.
It's a big reason why Bradish is in such good position right now with his pitch count. The Mariners have been really aggressive against him early in the count.
2 outs and a man aboard for Cole Emerson. Well, Hyphen, Craig Albert has heard you and said, you know what, I think I should get somebody up.
That's right. Rico Garcia. Having a really good start to 2026. Randy got him back in Baltimore. Extra innings game.
Yeah, when Randy tagged that home run in the 10th off of Rico Garcia, it was only the second hit that Garcia had allowed this year to a right-handed batter.
I had no idea I got to that pitch. Not to mention clear the right field wall.
Canzone at first base. Alonso right there. Fair ball. Emerson standing in his tracks. Can't believe it. And the Mariners, after that leadoff walk, get nothing going. On to the 8th. Gorgeous night in Seattle. Scoreboard not as pretty. Tonight's Miller Lite moment coming earlier back in the 3rd. Gunnar Henderson, his 15th home run this year, 2-run shot.
Oh, you just have a feeling George Kirby did not mean to leave that 4-seam fastball there.
Adley Rutschman takes high for ball 1. Davila up on the mound. His 11th appearance this year. He's got Rutschman, Alonso, and Basayo. 3, 4, and 5 in the order.
Yeah, nice road trip. Got his first save in a chaotic game in Baltimore against these Orioles.
He was talking about that with me the other day and saying he's, you know, he's last man standing out there. He goes, I looked to my right and my left and I see Nola and Champ, and that's it. That's the only 2 people out in the Mariners bullpen. It's like, I guess this is going to be me. And this after basically, you know, I'm using Davila's term for it, his viral start to his road trip, where he was sitting in the South Center Din Tai Fung, and he gets a call that he's got to, boom, all of a sudden get on an airplane and join the Mariners on the road. First time ever going to Din Tai Fung, and had 1 dumpling and had to leave straight to the airport. Clubby met him with his baseball gear and jumped on a plane. And
well, in any other scenario, you'd be so mad you'd drop in some good coin on some dumplings, not getting to eat them, or box them up and take them home.
he was telling me this story the other day because I missed it. He goes, yeah, it was all over the internet, Angie. You didn't read it? And I was like, man, I'm trying to stay off there, you know, from time to time. But he said that the owner of Din Tai Fung ended up getting him a gift certificate so he can come back and enjoy some dumplings, which are
some of that big league money.
Delicious. Yes. I told him, you got to be careful though, because sometimes the soup inside the dumpling get really hot. Don't burn your mouth. But yeah, Din Tai Fung, delicious, tasty. To be savored. You can't rush that, as you've got to jump on a plane. Head east.
Well, makes for a fun story, no doubt, for Davila. And yeah, he was thrust into action in Baltimore.
I mean, even the inning itself, play at the plate. He drilled the first guy he faced. It was all happening all around him, but he was able to get that SV in the column early in his career, which is so tough to get.
JP pops up on a skip in time.
Oh, I can't wait to see the chest bump that he is going to get from Perry Hill after this one. This is kind of why JP wanted to move over to third base. You know, he didn't have as much 2, 3, 4 step range anymore, but boom, he can make a step and a dive and get up and make this accurate throw. Definitely an out of the box play. Look at the smile on that man's face right there, the grin, the smirk.
In the air out to left field. Joe makes the catch. Davila retires the side in order with a little help from that man, J.P. Crawford. Well, the next Mariners fireworks night's coming up on Friday. The Mariners will be wearing their steelhead uniforms as we celebrate Juneteenth. And after the game, they'll miss a spectacular fireworks show presented by T-Mobile and Movement 92.5. Mariners.com/fireworks. Bradish is back out there. 8-9-1. Connor Joe showing bunt and takes just off the plate for ball one. Bullpen continues to warm for the Orioles, but they're going to see how many outs they can get out of Bradish. Shinir Cano, ground ball specialist, getting loose. And remember, the Orioles yesterday received one of the great power arms in any bullpen off the IL, Ryan Helsley. First-year Orioles, been on the IL for some time with an elbow issue, but he is back and available now. 2-1. So that is the Mariners' fate in the ninth inning. On the corner, Joe wants a challenge. That looked like a pretty good pitch. That is a perfect pitch.
Strike. Seattle has one remaining.
Wow. That is what you call pitching on the corners. One challenge left for the Mariners as this one gets late.
Bradish has gone over 100 pitches 3 times this season. Sitting right now, getting ready to throw his 95th.
I'm curious if this backfires. And again, he's had a few lucky breaks go his way, but I honestly think he was checked out at the end of that 7th, thinking he was done. Here he is, 3-2. It's Connor Joe.
Strike 3 called. He finds the corner again. Down and away at 95. That is a new, or matches a career high, I should say, 11 strikeouts.
Just a perfectly placed two-seamer that runs back over the plate and catches the outside corner at the knees.
I mean, he's coming off 2 back-to-back outings where he went 4 innings. Just pitch count in the 80s. Bounce back here in the 8th. It's a good pitch right there, that 3-2.
This is on a line out to right center field. Miles Mastrobuoni is aboard. A 1-out single. Bradish, the first Orioles pitcher to record an out in the 8th inning, but now gives up a base hit to Mastrobuoni as the lineup card turns over.
Nifty piece of hitting there by Miles Mastrobuoni, just on time for the fastball. Bradish has been coming in with first pitch strike all night long, and he was ready for it.
Now still sticking with Bradish. I thought maybe Hyphen, once the lineup card turned over with a man on base, that they would make a move. Now getting back to what you said a moment ago, Hyphen.
Go ahead.
Is there a... Would it not be clearly communicated to Bradish that he's going back out there in the 8th inning?
No, absolutely. Once you get back to the dugout, but you saw him sort of, flipping the ball to Pete Alonso, and again, just in your head, you're thinking you're done, man. I remember I had a game in Toronto where I thought I was done after 7, and pitch count was in the mid-90s, I think it was, and I came back in, thought I was done, and said, hey, you're good to go for the 8th. Like, oh, whoa, and you just mentally have to check back in with what you're doing. But again, he made that pitch to Connor Joe, that 3-2 pitch. Man, that was huge because you could see the command wasn't quite there in that at-bat. He got that pitch overturned, but they're sticking with him.
Well, this has got to be his last batter, you figure. Strike 3 called. JP is rung up. And they're going to make a move in front of Cal. That is 12 strikeouts, a new career high for Kyle Bradish. Man. Bradish is done. Yennier Cano is coming in. Yeah, Bradish pats on the back. He spun a beauty tonight at the Mariners' expense. Mariners TV is brought to you by Emerald Queen Casino. It's comedy's most fearless voice. Don't miss Jim Jeffries at Emerald Queen Casino June 18th. Tickets at emeraldqueen.com. And by Holland America, Seattle's hometown cruise line, offering convenient round-trip Alaska sailings from Seattle. Beautiful day for Rainier. Mariners in the early stages of a homestand tonight. Game 2 with the Orioles. Kyle Bradish was fantastic tonight, and they really stuck with him as long as they possibly could.
Yeah, and some of those punch outs at the end there, that was the real difference he needs to take with him into the next start, because we saw this last night. Brandon Young, they decided to stick with the starter against Colt Emerson the third time through, and Colt had hit him pretty hard early on in that game, and it backfired because all of a sudden that inning, you saw Colt Emerson was able to get on base, and then they ended up going to the bullpen a little bit too late. But I was watching that and just that eighth, thinking to myself, man, they're sticking with Bradish in this situation, but I guess he's earned that right to try and get through some of these outs, and it worked out well for him. Obviously the score dictates it a little bit better, but man, he was tough, especially there late.
Yeah, you were,
2 on Cal.
Yeah, you were thinking last night, maybe Brandon Young faces Victor Robles, the right-hander, but then you thought they'd bring in the lefty Wolfram against Colt Emerson. They don't. They stick with him. Colt bites him for a single, and Miles Mastrobuoni, they finally bring in the lefty. He bunts him over, and both those runs come in to score Robles and Colt Emerson.
Well, now you've got a former all-star reliever in Yennier Cano, who's one of the great ground ball specialists out of any bullpen, facing Cal Raleigh with the tying run on deck for the Mariners. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Cal, his last at bat, had a home run taken back by Tyler O'Neill, who climbed over the wall and right. Mastrobuoni, the runner at first base. Back pick, and Mastrobuoni safe. Well, the Orioles are up 4. The Mariners, up 3. The Mariners down to their final 4 outs, facing Cano and Helsley. It would be in the 9th inning. "3-2. It's off the plate, and the tying run comes to the dish. It would typically be Julio, but Julio had to exit the game after his last at-bat. That ended the 6th inning. And with Julio being out of this game, we are unclear the exact reason why. Rob Refsnyder taking his spot. This is Refsnyder's first at-bat tonight.
Yeah, and a rare right-on-right at-bat for Refsnyder. Gives you a glimpse of, what sort of shape Josh Naylor and Luke Raley are in, the 2 lefties that Dan Wilson has on the bench.
Oh, it hits off of Cal, and he's staying put, but Mastrobuoni is into third. Cal's namesake might have come up pretty big for him right there.
We've seen this throughout this inning. Adley Rutschman smartly as a catcher. If you're a catcher, you're hunting outs for your pitcher. You got 2 outs. You're trying to get that third one, and you're trying to find him on the base pass. Ball in the dirt. You figure that Cal Raleigh's going to take that extra step on first base, trying to take advantage of it, and instead he throws it away.
2 outs, 2 on. Runners on the corners now. Oh, 2. Popped him up. Henderson underneath it makes the catch. Now the Mariners strand 2. It is on to the 9th. Orioles have a 4-1 lead.
Holland.
We have reached the ninth on a gorgeous night here in Seattle. Game 2 of the series. Mariners winning last night. Orioles with a 3-run lead beginning the ninth inning. Michael Rucker is up on the mound, making just his 3rd appearance for the Mariners. He has the ninth inning, facing the bottom half of the order.
Yeah, we're still getting to know Rucker just a little bit. Cutter, curve, 4-seam fastball. Pretty good 3-pitch mix between those.
Leody Taveras leads it off, an RBI triple last time up for the former Mariner.
Another strike stolen by Cal.
Curveball gets it 0-2. A little nod of approval there from Cal Raleigh. Going back and forth, up high, down low. Two balls and 2 strikes to Taveras, beginning things in the ninth inning.
Guys, pretty big moment right here. Golly, we talked about Rucker on that road trip, putting the Mariners uniform on. Growing up here, this was his team. He's had a long journey back to the big leagues.
Well, he gets a strikeout here. Leody Taveras at the top of the zone, locks him up.
And how good's that feel? Look, you're down by 3 runs. You know, really nothing doing offensively, but you know, Michael Rucker again. This is a team he grew up watching. He grew up in the local area. Out here on this mound, I mean, I'm sure the nerves are flowing through him. Gets that first punch out. Here at T-Mobile.
Finds the corner up and away to Tyler O'Neill for strike 1. Meanwhile, inside the Orioles bullpen, this is a sight that they've been waiting to see for a long while now. Ryan Helsley, one of the great flamethrowers out of any bullpen, has not pitched since the final days of April. And it's some real movement in on him. 2-seamer running in, fouled away. It's 0-2. It'll be interesting to see what Helsley looks like. He hasn't pitched since April 28th, an elbow injury. So he is warming up now. They have another arm warming also in case they take a larger lead. Tyler Wells is also loosening, but if the score stays put, it will be Helsley.
Last time we saw Helsley, he was having that horrible August and September last year, getting traded over to the Mets. Be interesting to see the difference. Added that split to the repertoire. Worried about pitch tipping at the end of last year.
1-2. Helsley, a 2-time All-Star, and has made just 12 appearances for his new team before landing on the IL. So he is looming in the bottom of the ninth inning. Sure, he's itching to get back out there. He blows it past him. 96-mile-an-hour fastball. Rucker a couple of strikeouts to begin the ninth inning.
I think he looks absolutely fantastic tonight. Really moving north and south. That fastball right here at the top of the zone, getting above the barrel at 96.
Now facing Jackson Holiday. Robles angling across, turning, and wow, that ball is gone. Pretty impressive home run from Jackson Holliday.
Yeah, it really was. This ball was a slider below the zone. He was able to get his bat on plane on. I mean, seeing this ball and then making the adjustment and guessing where this is going to be, slightly out front, but he hits this ball 102 to dead center field into the no-fly zone.
Here is Blaze Alexander. Alexander 3 for 3 in the ninth spot, has never had a 4-hit game in his career. It's no longer a safe situation, but Helsley, you wonder if they're still going to put him in there just to get him back on the mound for the first time in a while.
Yeah, not that a guy like Helsley needs a soft landing, but it certainly is nice when you're coming back from the IL, and once you're warmed up, go ahead and get him in there.
Two and two. Full count. Top of the order would be next. Alexander reaches for the 4th time. 3 singles and now a walk. That keeps the 9th inning going for the Orioles.
I thought we might see Cal go out there and have a chat. I mean, Rucker was cruising all of a sudden, then you have Jackson Holliday home run, and then he just seems like he wanted to be a little bit too careful with Blaze Alexander before turning on the lineup card over here.
Ball 1 to Taylor Ward. The Orioles have scored in 3 of the final 4 innings here tonight. Pitch a strike, throw down, tag, he's safe.
It's a great time to go after a young pup like Rucker gives up a walk. He's going to put all of his attention, his focus to Taylor Ward. He's not being as quick to the plate as he needs to be to give Cal Raleigh a chance there.
Emergency hack there from Ward. Able to get a piece. Alexander at second with 2 outs. On either side with many chances in this one. The Orioles have been the team that's hit the 2 home runs. 3 of the 5 runs coming on Orioles homers. They've also tacked on a RBI and a triple from Leody Taveras. And a run scored on a double play off the bat of Taylor Ward, in fact, back in the 7th. He got the swing and a miss, and Ward strikes out. But Holliday's homer makes it a 4-run lead for the Orioles. Mariners down to their final 3 outs. We go to the bottom of the 9th inning. Well, it's come down to this for the Mariners here tonight, trailing by 4 runs. down to their final 3 outs. And then we got shoes on the head, trident in hand, and it's time to gear up for a good fastball. Ryan Helsley making his first appearance since late April, reinstated yesterday off the injured list with elbow inflammation.
Yeah, 99 miles per hour. That's where his fastball sits. And when he was placed on the IL, he was tied for 3rd in the major with 7 saves. Has not blown a save opportunity. You understand why they wanted this guy back.
A high, deep fly ball. Dom Canzone let it fly.
Well, that was a rude welcome to Helsley, and I'm here for it. Fantastic job by Dom Canzone, but this is just more of the same from him lately. On time for the fastball, turns it around. He's just so strong.
Oh, 2 pitches and 2. See you later. Wow. Back-to-back home runs on back-to-back pitches. And we've got a ball game.
Dom Canzone turns around a 98-mile-per-hour fastball. Cole Young says, I like what you did there. Helsley notches it up to 99, and he hits it even further. Again, Cole Young, 99 at the top of the zone, is able to get his barrel to it.
I mean, there's no way Robles was taken there, right?
Yeah.
He's out on a firm ground ball over to 3rd, 1 away.
They had an idea of what Helsley was going to come at him with, and they were ready for it. Yeah, exactly. Dom Canzone's got the try, and he's like, all right, I'll meet you at the top of the dugout.
Helsley had not given up a single home run this year. And he's given up 2 in the first 2 pitches that he throws tonight. Strike 1, meanwhile, to Colt Emerson.
You think about it, too. I mean, you're down by 4 runs. Helsley's coming fresh off the IL. Then that's the pitch that got destroyed the last 2 months when he got traded to the Mets. Was that fastball? He was talking about last year. He felt like he was tipping his pitches. He felt like he corrected that. He got the split this year to combat some of the contact on the fastball, but a couple guys just unleashing, getting that ace swing off first pitch they see. I love it.
Well, the Mariners now blooping a blast away from tying this one up. They're down to their final 2 outs. Big swing and a miss on a sharp slider. 2 down.
Well, the 2 lefties took him out of the yard on fastballs, and Helsley did not throw Colt Emerson a fastball. Went slider, splitter, slider.
Now, pretty clear tonight that the Mariners do not have a left-hand bat available on the bench. Naylor and Raley not available whatsoever. Connor Joe, the last hope tonight for the Mariners. A knee buckler there for a strike. Two outs, 0-2. That's how it ends. The Mariners make it interesting in the 9th, but 5-3. The Orioles take game 2, rubber game tomorrow.
Well, give Bradish credit. He came in here having given up more hits than innings pitched, but he was really good tonight. He went right after the Mariners. You know, I talked off the rip about how he wasn't really good with first pitch strikes. Tonight he was able to do that. His pitch count was in great shape all night. He ends up going 7 1/3 and just stymies this Mariner team.
Day baseball tomorrow, 1:10 our start time. Brian Wu takes the mound. Mariners going for a series win with a victory tomorrow. Mariners postgame begins in 2 minutes.